Welcome to Garden City, the home of the towers. We've had a whole bunch of cold days, but today we have one 44-degree day. I took the covers off the garden. There's snow on the ground, but we grow 365 days a year in containers on a balcony. Get into it. Let's join me for the tour. If you guys are looking for any small space gardening, container gardening inspiration, I am your girl, your kitchen garden bestie, that is. So just to start, I have 4 green stock gardens. I have 1 grow bag station. I have a few windowsill planters and a few railing planters. And we're going to go through them and see what we have growing in January in New Jersey, zone 6B7A. Okay, let's get it, let's get it. Switch! It was a windy day, so the rest of the video is going to have to be a voiceover. Thanks for bearing with me. So these are my windowsill boxes with mescaline blend lettuces from Botanical Interest and M.I. Gardner, planted possibly in July. Then this one is arugula, also planted in about October. Then this is another box with radishes along the sides, and in the middle I have garlic, about 4 of them. This is just an experiment. I don't know how it's going to grow. Garlic definitely shouldn't be growing in anything like this, but I did sprinkle some lettuce seeds on top, so it will mainly be lettuce and greens, and I'm just going to see if I can get some garlic. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this is my Epic Garden grow bag corner where we have some Swiss chard with some scallion. They look pretty dead. I don't know, but we'll see. This is my dwarf kale, doing well. I also have a broccoli, which has a little crown coming up. I'm so excited about that. We'll see if it makes it. Last year it did, so let's see about this year. Hoping so. The stem split, but it still made it and it grew last year, so I'm very hopeful. I sprinkled a bit of lettuce in there. This is a dill plant. I don't know if it's gonna make it. It looks like it's struggling. This is some Sahara kale, also struggling. That looks like it is possibly red Russian, and I pretty much sprinkled a mescaline blend in there, and that's what's growing from last year actually. Also from last year, we have some garlic sprouting. I did not plant that this year. It is absolutely from last year. It must have been in there. Here is a little bit of lettuce that I sprinkled into a small pot. Marvel of 4 seasons. We'll see if it grows. This is carrots and another mescaline blend. We'll see. I also did plant that last year and it is just coming up on its own. So when seeds want to grow, they will grow. Next up, we've got Scotch Blue Curly Kale. It's the mama to the dwarf kale up there. This was planted last spring, so it's doing well. I forgot to mention these are all 5-gallon grow bags. Over here, we have some beets and scarlet kale with some scallions, all planted this fall, minus the scallions, which are from last spring. Over here, we've got our 7-gallon grow bags. The one to the right has potatoes in it that I harvested from last summer, but some of them were sprouting. So after harvesting, I just threw them back. The one to the left has garlic in it, which I just planted from the grocery store this past, I want to say November. So we'll see how that goes. On top of both bags, I did sprinkle in some lettuce. Here are my railing boxes where I have planted some greens. I have tatsoi, mizuna, and some spinach in here. I normally plant onions in here, and as soon as the weather gets better, I will definitely be planting my onions in there. So we want the greens first, and then the onions should bulb up. and they'll be harvested in the summer while the greens will be eaten throughout spring. So this box has spinach down the middle, and you see the onions are on the outer sides. In between the onions, I've also planted arugula. So I am a high intensity planter, and every single spot counts. So this is my summer plant corner, which the frost took out my plants. So this one was where my corn was. I ended up trying to do the three sisters method where you put corn and peas, but the peas didn't work going up the corn, so I ended up adding a tomato trellis anyway. I won't do that again. So next to that, we have two hot peppers, one Scotch bonnet and the other called asante, which is a Ghanaian pepper. And the frost took those out in November. So I will be sure to be pulling those out for some spring planting as soon as I can. Next, we have my blueberry bushes. Oh, but wait. So at the bottom of, and that's also my okra plant back there, but at the bottom of all the summer plants, I ended up putting some arugula and spinach. This okra plant is gone. It's called Nkrumah Tinting from Baker's Creek. Okay, so blueberries. I have a sunshine blue one on the left and a top hat on the right. They look like they're struggling, but they come back every year, so let's see. It's my first year. And last but definitely not least is the towers. Here are my 4 Greenstock garden towers, but technically there's really 5, but I just stacked them to make 4 instead of 5, so let's do it. These little pretty things are called seed houses. They kind of act like a greenhouse for keeping and protecting your plants that are babies, like my seedlings. Over here we have a purple lady bok choy, which I planted I think in like December, and all of these are planted in December, and because they were super babies and it was so cold, I ended up putting the seed houses on them to make sure that they made it through the cold, and they're doing really well. So at the top I had echinacea. Over there you see I have some black-seeded Simpson, lettuce. Over here we have some more bok choy, but this one is green instead of purple. Down there I had tatsoi, more tatsoi. We have kale, which broke. It was from last year, but it broke. I don't know if the snow was too heavy and it snapped it off. Kind of annoyed, but I left it to see if the sides will grow some new shoots. Let's see. Let's see. We have a lot of spinach. We have dwarf kale. There's some thyme to the right. I have dazzling blue kale, which is really pretty. It turns like purple at times. Here's lacinato kale. There's more tatsoi. I have more veriflay spinach. This is Mizuna. Up top here is another lettuce. Down there is more spinach. Up there was echinacea. Down there is red sales lettuce, which does amazing. So in the wintertime, I only grow red sales, new red fire, and black-seeded Simpson. Those are the strong and long ones. They make it. Okay? Get you those for winter. You see my sage down there was doing good. That's a tatsoi. It looks amazing. These are plants that are still growing through the cold. That's some kale, Sahara kale. Down there is some more bok choy. Down here is arugula, which I tend to put at the base of any large plant. That is a lettuce. That is another tatsoi. That's black-seeded Simpson. This is a broccoli, which has been struggling, guys. My green stalk fell and it made it, but also it has a crown coming, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I tend to like to do one plant in the green stock and then the other one in the grow bag so I can see which one is growing how. We've got garlic with the tatsoi. This is definitely planted in December. We're back to the black seeded, and this is my leaf planter. That's my scarlet. I have some sage. I think the combination is so pretty when they are alive. And yeah, so this is my leaf planter. I started a lot of these last fall and they're doing very well. So we will move over to the summer green stock, which had a lot of summer plants in it, and then they died, and then I put more plants in it in December slash fall. Up top, we have our tatsoi going strong. We have our Vates collards over here. Then at the bottom of my broccoli, I tucked in some lettuce. I love to tuck in plants under large plants, the small plants under large plants. Next to that, we have lemongrass. Now we have some Vates collards, and there's some Georgia Southern collards with some scallions tucked in. This is a great way to protect your crops from pests, so definitely companion plant. Over here we have some tatsoi. I love how they're still growing and they look so healthy. Oops. Down here we have some lettuce, and to the left of it, I've done another companion planting with some cilantro, and they are growing. Up top, I have some Mizuna, companion planted with some scallion again. Down here, we have some lacinato kale, which was transplanted, I want to say in September. Up top, we have some cabbage, Carifax cabbage. It's like a cone shape. Those were planted in December. And so they have seed houses. That's another one. They are looking good. They are growing. So exciting. I must say, these seed houses are definitely working. I do seed houses, but I also do have the frost covers. So they're getting like some type of warmth because they are growing. Wait, look at black seeded. That's my black seeded Simpson. You saw how that just popped off like that? Like it let its hair out. It looks so good. The seed houses are working. I love this. Yes. Let's see it down here. Who that? Who that? Oh, that looks like more black seeded Simpson. And that is a collard, Georgia Southern to be exact. This is another lacinato kale planted in September. Looking good or whatever, looking real good. Now, this was some dill, but it definitely died in the cold temps. Didn't make it. With some lettuce to the side. Who this? Who this? That's another lettuce. A red lettuce. I think it's Brentwood. Who's under that seed house? Let's see. Oh, that's a collard. Vates collard. See, there's powdery mildew. I think that is not getting enough flow from the seed house being on it. But that was my lemongrass. And look at my calendula or calendula. How do you guys say it? Tell me. I do say calendula though. The fact that it's even blooming, like some parts are dead, but look, there's more flowers wanting to come. That's amazing. This is my oregano. That is my thyme. Who is the thyme is I harvest. I harvest off these all the time. Ooh, this is a red acres cabbage under there. They are growing, guys, because I just planted these like December, in the middle of December, and they were babies. So it's doing good. Look at my thyme. So that's it, guys. This is my winter green stock looking amazing. Let's move over to the fall green stock, which low-key is kind of my favorite. It's kind of my favorite. I love it. It looks so beautiful. This is my Brassica green stock. There's a lot of brassicas. That's my mullein down there. I think it's too small for the green stock, so I'm going to move it into maybe like a 5 or 7 gallon grow bag next season. We shall see. Down at the bottom, I have a giant purple mustard, which doesn't look like it's making it. To the right of that is some arugula because I love to pack it in. Up here we have Brentwood next to scallion, dazzling blue, beautiful. This is the green version. You guys saw the purple version on the leaf planter. This is a Vates collard. It looks weird, but it is. This is a red sales lettuce next to a premier kale. They're super big, and I don't think they need to be with something. I don't know. I need to figure out the ratio of how many brassicas I should put in each pocket. I think it'll be 3 though per tier. This little scarlet did not make it, but she's in there with an arugula. We have another Bates collard looking real pretty. Real pretty. Above that, we have an all seasons cabbage who is showing off. Showing off. This whole planter was planted in September, probably I think 9/9 if I'm not mistaken. So to the left of it, we have some red sales and garlic. I didn't realize I planted 2 garlics, but I did. Let's see how it goes. That's another red sales. Planted next to an early golden acre cabbage, which is also down here. Planted next to some arugula because we definitely are gonna get it in. Okay. Same cabbage. They look different than the other cabbage. All seasons, if you notice, the growing pattern's different. Down there I have more garlic, another scarlet kale. She she look alive, I think. This is a lacinato kale. Down there is a dazzling blue. That is a black magic kale. Down here we have another giant red collard, I think. Oh no, I'm lying. That is purple lady bok choy with scallion next to it. This is a Vates. We just passed a dwarf curly blue. Love those. They do so well in the winter. Down there I have my lavender. Up here we have a garlic with some Marvel of Four Seasons. Here's another cabbage and another all seasons cabbage. These two are the same. And the full top is all garlic that I recently planted in December or late November. It's music garlic. So that makes my 6th tier, and that's all that's growing. Let's see. Are they coming through? Ooh, they popping through. Okay, so they are growing. Look at that. My garlic is sprouting. My garlic. Okay, so I'm super gassed. All right, so the garlic is doing well. The garlic right there on that second level was probably planted in October, November. This is my poppy plant, which I planted last spring. So it's been through spring, summer, fall, and now winter. Let's see how it does. But yeah, guys, this is my fall planter with all my brassicas and little knick-knack paddywhacks. So I love this. Is my favorite one. Now we are at my second terracotta planter. Down at the bottom, I have strawberries. There's 3 tiers of strawberries. This is an inventor's bundle, but then I stacked a couple more on there. So the full bottom is all strawberries. Right here, I have a purple giant mustard, which did way better here than it did at the bottom of this one. So it's safe to say planting it higher up did it better. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Here's a Mizuna. Here is some lettuce from the summer. This is premier kale. This is a lavender. So pretty. We have some scallion and lettuce. The top row has 3 cabbages and 3 garlic planted in December. Here we have some oregano from last spring. Again, we have some lettuce from summer. This scallion is 1 year old, just about because I grew it last winter, and it is beautiful. Tucked in with some black seeded Simpson. We have some more lettuce down there. There's some premier kale. I love to do lettuce and scallion together in one pocket. That's some red sills looking amazing. Some scallion from the grocery store this past Thanksgiving. That's a radicchio. This right here is some Merlot lettuce that I'm guessing didn't make it. Here is a radicchio. It's very pretty. Here I have arugula and some scallion, some thyme, some more scallion and lettuce. That's the combo. Down here we have some more red sills. It's really cool to see that these plants are actively growing in this cold, cold weather. So that's why it's one of my favorite lettuces to grow in the winter. We have another premier kale. We have some mizuna. And down there we have some cilantro. I'm very much into packing it in, guys. I'm a small space gardener and everybody gets a spot. So up top, we are back at my oregano. And let's check in on my cabbage. This is a red acre cabbage, which is growing. It's crazy. The seed houses are amazing. Amazing. Next to it, we have a garlic. And then the next one is another cabbage, another red acre. Looking real good. Looking real good. Next to the garlic. And let's check in our final, Carifex cabbage. It looks so good. I can't believe they are growing. It's so amazing. So this is going to be my perennial tower. I'm going to put the strawberries on top, and then I'll put the larger original ones on the bottom once it gets a bit warmer. So although the weather has been crazy, my green stalks are doing amazing. All my plants are, but the green stalks especially are doing great. This summer or spring, I'm going to stack them properly. I just did them like this because it's cold and I wanted them huddled up, but everything's looking amazing. I'm super excited. What's going on in you guys' garden? Thank you so much for watching. What are you most surprised by? What's your favorite thing? Do you have any questions? Go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because we grow together. Welcome to Garden City, home of the towers. I am Lady Mensa. I am your kitchen garden bestie, and we are gardening in New Jersey. It's January 22nd. We've had a whole bunch of cold days. We've had a whole bunch of cold days. I took the covers off the garden. I want you guys to see. We're gonna thank you for being a part of the Grow Friends family.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next episode.